What is up, guys? This is Jared Spalding here, and today, what I'm going to be talking about, it's not a secret, alright? It's not, the biggest revelation in silver stacking since silver stacking, and chances are you've heard of it. But, what I am talking about is, of course, stack diversification. And that, I believe, is the key to successful silver stacking. Now, this is nothing new for my channel, I've talked about diversification before. Thanks to you guys, my video, the benefits of a well-diversified silver stack, hit like 375 views or something like that, which might not sound like an amazing amount to most, but to me that was pretty impressive. It's more than I have subscribers, because I have 286 right now as we speak, so, that was really cool of you guys, and it showed me you guys really do like, when I talk about diversification. The video I don't think got any dislikes on it either, it got all likes, so... I figured I would do kind of not really a follow-up, but just something else talking about it. And honestly, the reason I am talking about this is because even though it's not a secret, people, it's always seems to be getting panned by people, who believe that there's no way that the economy is not going to collapse. I've heard a lot of people who say, yeah, only stack generic bullion because it is the way to go for silver. And of course I stack generic bullion. That's a vital part of it. And then I hear other people saying, oh yeah, generic bullion, that's the worst way to stack silver. It's such a terrible investment. So it's like, really, people don't seem to know what they want and what they don't want, honestly, in that sense. Or at least people, they know. I guess certain people do know, but a lot of times I feel that the people who say this are only saying it because that's what they're told, by others. And they don't really figure out, everything for themselves. And that's why I encourage you guys to, list your own opinions in the comment sections below so I can, talk to you guys. I love to hear counter arguments to what I have to say, maybe I can learn something. But I really do feel like that this needed to be addressed in a video, because this is, in my opinion at least, the key to a vital stack. And let me explain why. So, first of all, diversification is really, everything. I mean, like, most people will say that, there's no safe investment, but that's not really true, because when you diversify, you're safe in every aspect. Generic bullion, for example, that protects you. I mean, it's not really protecting you so much, but it allows you to grow in a situation where the silver price spikes. Let's say a bubble forms, right? And it shoots up, silver shoots up to $55 an ounce at the peak of the bubble. And you were paying, $17, $18 an ounce for silver. Then guess what you can do? You can make a lot of profit. I mean, that seems simple, but some people don't really seem to understand this. So there is a lot of potential at this point once, silver goes up 3-4 times in value. I mean, that really means that you can make a lot very quickly off of silver, and that's one of the few ways where you will make a lot of money from it. And really, it does kind of protect you in the sense that, if you're relying on numismatics, buying and selling those, honestly, those are going to be harder to sell in a price bubble because everyone's going to be stacking for mass, they're going to be doing quantity over quality at that point, so... a lot of those numismatics are going to be hard to sell, and if that's what you rely on, then that is going to be tough for you. Now, numismatics, however, protect you in a silver price drop. And numismatics, they've been doing a little poorly lately, I know that. But there is still, and then what this means really is that there's still a lot of room for growth in the numismatic world, These numismatics, such as these ones right here, are all part of very popular series. Franklin halves are extremely popular. Both the Peace and Morgan dollars are very popular. Bust halves are always extremely popular. I mean, because of how old they are and how much history. Mercury dime is another popular one, and old foreign coins also very popular. So you just have to know what to stack with numismatics, and you will have potential to grow. And not only that, but also you do have to remember that at the very least they will protect you very well in a silver price drop. If the price dropped to $7 an ounce and you were relying on selling, then you would still be able to do that because you'd have the silver right here. All of this would help you a lot. And then of course you got your junk silver too, which I won't even bother showing you. Probably know what that looks like very well, but that's kind of, this serves the same purpose as bullion, I really think, except maybe that it's a little bit more fluid, when you're trying to sell it, because it is the only fractional silver that's worth investing in, so you could sell it in small or large quantities. It's a little bit less fixed because it, everything with Constitutional is going to be below an ounce. Even the dollar coins, those are like 0.776 troy ounces. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't think that's exactly right, but they're about a little bit over 3/4 of a troy ounce of silver. So even those are fractional. And you got your dimes, which are like going to be a 1/10 ounce of silver, just about. And so all that is the only way to really, I think, invest in fractional. And also in an economic collapse situation, they would protect you quite well because, they'd be used as bartering, basically to barter. Now, another reason to diversify your stack is so that you are really letting it reach its full potential, Honestly, there is a lot of, certain coin markets out there that people don't see value in today, but tomorrow, all of a sudden, they're really the next big thing. It's kind of like how certain weird trends will hit the media and stuff that you don't really understand, but don't really care to either. It's the same thing with this. Certain coins that might be undervalued for a very long time might all of a sudden, become extremely popular. And if you happen to own those coins, well, there you go. I mean, it's going to really help you. And of course, owning, this is what Silverfish VT has said, who, left YouTube a long time ago. But one thing he did say, and I watched a video from him that I really liked, was he talked about buying what the rich will want to buy, which is very true, because the thing is that the rich obviously are the ones with the most currency. And so if you have coins that they're going to want, that are going to be really popular and they'll want to add their collections, they don't plan on selling usually if they're trying to just build up a massive coin collection. And so they'll be willing to pay a large sum because they don't have to make a profit. As long they just want that coin, or whatever it is. Usually it's going to be a coin though, or maybe a numismatically valuable bullion piece. But basically, whatever it is, it's desirable to them. They want it, and they've got enough currency to pay you maybe double or triple what you paid for it, and that's a lot, for a coin that's going to cost you a couple $1,000s. Now, of course, getting those is going to be pretty tough. I myself, on the budget I'm stacking, probably couldn't afford that. Well, definitely couldn't. But if you can do so, then definitely try to pick up some. And even if you can't, numismatics are always going to change. Their markets are always going to go up and down on them. They're not fixed to the price of silver as much as bullion is going to be. So they are, their markets do have a lot more potential in that sense. However, at the same time, generic bullion really helps with just potential, helping you, like I said, in a silver price spike, but also just, I think they really help to solidify your stack, It really makes your stack more solid, honestly, because if your stack is based only around numismatics and, the market's doing poorly for them, then, you're basically screwed, right? What are you going to do? But because of the fact that something like, a 5-ounce bar, like this right here, is always going to hold some kind of value, but the market for these might go up and down, and the silver market might go down, but it still has a very solid value, and this is more valued as actual money, just because of the fact that it is all silver, and it doesn't have any kind of fabricated value like all this would. And, in an economic collapse, what are you going to do with all this, right? But something like this is definitely going to be desirable. So, that is definitely something to consider. Now, I want to also counter a few arguments I've heard against this. Now, one argument I've heard is that you should only stack generic bullion because there's an economic collapse imminent. Now, let me just counter this with how could you possibly be so sure of yourself that that's what, the definite outcome is going to be, right? Because, it must be nice to be that sure of yourself, honestly. It really must be, because I myself know that whenever I make a prediction, it's just that, a prediction, and I'm willing to admit it. But for the people who are absolutely sure of this economic collapse, I have one thing to tell you. You could quite possibly be wrong. And the other thing is, your economic collapse might happen, but who says it's going to happen tomorrow? It could be 5 or 10 years down the road. And during that time, a numismatic market could boom very well, and you could have made a tidy profit off of it. And right as you see the warning signs of an economic collapse, that's when you'd want to sell off all your numismatics and switch out for bullion. Because, honestly, before that, there is going to be a lot of potential on this bullion, or on this these numatically valuable coins, that the bullion's just not going to happen. I mean, and the other thing is that, what about, your constitutional silver? You seem to be forgetting about that. You're definitely going to at least diversify into junk constitutional, because of the fact that it is going to, be a lot easier than a 5-ounce bar to go, and if you were to be using that as, currency, real money, then let's say you just need a couple gallons of milk, right? Well, you go down with a few dimes to pick it up. I mean, if you bring down a 5-ounce silver bar, there's not going to be like a system where it's like they're going to give you back, 4.5 ounces of silver, or however much couple gallons of milk is going to be worth. What's going to happen is they're going to say, give us the 5-ounce bar, just pick out enough groceries for it to equal that value. And of course, if you're trying to be conservative, and trust me, milk expires very fast, you're going to want to have those fractional pieces. And I'm not even saying that, a system like that's going to be set up. But if it were, if everything, went through and people decided to use that as the new currency, then you are going to want to have stuff that's below an ounce of silver, so that you can pick up some stuff. You can pick up smaller items at the grocery store or wherever you're going. Now, another argument I've heard is a lot of people, say don't buy generic bullion. And honestly, different people have their different reasons, but I feel like usually the overall reason is that it simply isn't really, I guess people just think it's really not worth stacking because it's super common and you still have to pay a premium on it. But the thing is that whatever premium you're putting into it, you're always going to be able to get out of it. Unless there is an economic collapse, which in that situation, silver's going to be so valuable, it's going to blow through your premiums. Because, like, this silver bar right here, I paid 65 cents over spot per ounce for this bar, which is a small price to pay considering the fact that already its melt value is higher than how its value was including the premium. I paid $80.05 for this. Its melt value right now is going to be $87.50, $88, So, and that's just melt value. And then it's still going to have a couple dollar premium on it being a Sunshine Minting bar. And if only silver was only worth, its melt value, well, that would have to be because the demand went up for it insanely high, like an economic collapse situation. And at that point, your premium's not even going to matter anymore. You're going to have, that silver. It's the most compact way to store silver and the most efficient way to store silver. It's also one of the cheapest ways to buy silver. So, really, there's really nothing bad to say about it other than the fact that it is so attached to the price of silver that in a dropping point, it's going to be hurt. But of course, that's why you diversify. So, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. And of course, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think diversification is as important as I do? Let me know. But that is it for this one. Peace, love, and much respect.